From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, happy Friday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining us here on Weather NorCal and getting your latest and most accurate forecast you can get here in Northern California. Let's start off by talking about some of the things that are happening this weekend and even next week. We got some changes. We're finally breaking away from this pattern, or should start to break away from this pattern here that we've been dealing with here the last week and a half. So we've got this cooling trend. It's going into the weekend. We're going to notice the temperatures going from the mid-60s today, in the valley at least, to the 50s as we take you into the weekend. Now, with that colder air, the winds are picking up, and it's going to be very strong winds. The potential for power outages, down trees, broken branches, the works. I think the strongest winds will be tomorrow on Saturday, and then they'll start to slowly subside, but still gusty through the day on Sunday. Now, I do expect slightly warmer conditions to start off next week and weaker winds. So again, the main wind event will be Saturday, Sunday. It's still a little breezy, I think maybe in some spots here on Monday, maybe even Tuesday, but overall the winds are dying down. Now, next week, this is something I've got my eyes on. Still seeing some inconsistencies in the overall timing of the rain coming in next week, but we're feeling more and more confident that sometime around the end of next week, around Thursday or Friday, or both, we may start to see some of those showers begin to move in and mountain snow. Now, here's the good part with that. This may open the door for more storm systems to move in behind that as we go into early February. So that certainly would be good news as well. We're going to go into all of this in our deeper dive forecast, but before we get to that, for those of you in a hurry, let's take a look at Krueger's Quickcast so you know what to expect for your Friday. Number one, we saw highs yesterday. Look at that. In the mid to upper 60s, even some mid 70s. Another gorgeous day in the valley. Obviously not nearly as warm in the mountains or the coast, but it was a warm day out there yesterday. But again, we're going to notice it gets a little bit cooler here for today. Still very nice though, and the winds will be picking up this afternoon. Let's take a look at out the door this morning. You can see some fog. It's still going to be cold and even some patchy frost even for parts of the valley this morning. And of course, widespread frost across the region in the higher elevations as well. Maybe even see some frost along the coast. So what we have here is this. Spin of low pressure. We've got some cold air all right up in here. This is all going to be shifting southward. That's why our temperatures will start to drop. But you can also see this boundary pushing through. That's what's giving us the clouds this morning, mainly in the form of some high and mid-level clouds. And I tell you what, the radar has been picking up on a little bit of activity as well. So if you feel a passing sprinkle this morning, especially in the higher elevations, don't be surprised, but it's not going to be anything to write home about and really anything to cancel any plans either. So just be aware of that and don't be surprised by that. But behind it, we've got those clearing skies. All right, so we do have some winds to tell you about here. As I mentioned, they're picking up this afternoon. Strongest though, Saturday and into Sunday. So you can see some of the gusts that we do expect. The wind's probably not as strong to the north and east with gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. For the coast, Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, 50 to 60 miles per hour. And for the valley and the surrounding foothills, 40 to 50 miles per hour. And again, with winds this strong, we've got to watch for the potential for power outages. Right? So you just got to be aware of that. All right, so the winds this morning, yeah, they're not that bad, right? They're picking up a little bit here for the coast. By this afternoon, we're noticing, especially the north, the winds picking up. North end of the valley, seeing those winds picking up, and even the coast. But once again, overall, what we're going to start to see happen is overnight tonight, tomorrow morning, that's when those winds really begin to ramp up, and they'll still be strong through the day on Saturday, and then progressively dying down, but still gusty through Sunday. All right, so here's a look at futurecast. There are some of those clouds. Again, maybe a passing sprinkle here or there for some areas, but nothing to write home about, nothing to get excited about. 5 p.m. today, maybe some afternoon cumulus clouds. By the way, maybe some low clouds lingering around Humboldt Bay here, even making its way down into Highway 101. But otherwise, mainly sunny skies for the second half of the day today. We've got some clouds moving in. The area of low pressure at this point will be down to our south. And what we'll be watching here as we go into Saturday afternoon is this moisture streaming to the north and west, and possibly, yes, possibly even some showers for parts of the valley. That's Saturday. We'll get into that in your deeper dive forecast in a little bit here as well. A little teaser there for you, right? All right, so here's what we have here for your Friday. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s for the valley, 40s and 50s for the higher elevations, and we do have those temperatures in the low to mid 50s along the coast. All right, so let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. Now, remember I was talking about a little bit of a teaser. I do expect dry conditions but windy for Redding, most likely even Red Bluff. Red Bluff's kind of the borderline, but look at Chico. If you look closely, look at that. You see the showers? There's a possibility for some showers in Chico, believe it or not, on Saturday. But then windy, weaker winds though, but still windy on Sunday. And then see temperatures warming up, dropping back down again. I've got the chance for showers as early as Thursday, but do note that that may change. It's around Thursday or Friday or both days that we could be looking at potential for some showers. Windy for the coast, dry inland, dry for Trinity County as well all weekend long, but windy. Then, of course, we're staying dry through Wednesday, with again that chance for showers by the end of next week. For Siskiyou County, Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains, here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. Yeah, dry and windy for Saturday, Sunday, dry and windy for Alturas as well, but we could see a chance for some snow flurries for parts of the Eastern Mountains. And in particular, as we take you into Lassen County and into Plumas County as well. All right, that is a look at Krueger's Quickcast, as quick as I could get it. Hope you have yourselves a great weekend. Before we get into our deeper dive forecast, though, quick reminder that there is a great resource for you. It's a 24-hour streaming channel that is available on all of the available platforms here on Weather NorCal. The website, weathernorcal.com, the free Weather NorCal app. If you have YouTube, right? YouTube on your phone, YouTube on your computer, YouTube on your TV as well. And here's the cool thing about the YouTube. You can watch the 24-hour channel on YouTube, but you can also watch video on demand, the latest forecast, like the video forecast that you're watching now. Now also, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick or a Roku, you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel there as well. Just download that app, search for Weather NorCal. It's free, and I think you'll really like it. It's really cool. It's kind of that... just the 24-hour weather for this area, Weather NorCal, 24 hours a day. It's available for you. And there's also some special programming on there as well. It's kind of fun too. All right, let's take a look at the wind advisory again through this weekend. It's basically the strongest winds Saturday and Sunday. You see some of the strongest gusts do look to be for parts of the west. And I expect especially those foothills east of the valley and the west side of the valley seeing some of those stronger winds. So, here's some of the hazards we got to watch for. Number one, there's a potential for broken branches and downed trees with winds this strong. Now, we also have the potential for power outages, right? Because if a tree goes down over a power line, then you got a problem, right? Also, when you're traveling, do be careful when you're passing big rigs because they can also get those gusts of wind and it can also cause them to kind of sway off into another lane unexpectedly. So again, the winds can also be a travel hazard as well, something to certainly keep a lookout here over the weekend. All right, let's take a look at the forecast winds here. As I mentioned, by the afternoon, we start to see the winds begin to pick up, especially as you'll see here to the north and along the coast. Not as bad for the valley, but by tonight and tomorrow, this is when we notice it. There's tomorrow morning, gusts 30, even upwards of 40 miles per hour, especially for the valley and the foothills. Look how it lights up even more as we go to midday. Everywhere, seeing 20, 30, even upwards of 40 miles per hour. And some of the reds are those mountain ridges, some of those mountain valleys where it kind of streams through and you see those stronger winds possibly over 50. But by Saturday 5 p.m., still gusty. And what you'll notice going into Sunday, the winds are subsiding, but still gusty. Take you into midday on Sunday, still windy, but see how the winds are starting to slowly show signs of weakening through the day on Sunday. And then by Monday, still a little breezy, I think, but much calmer winds. So again, you can see this boundary right here. That's what's giving us the clouds this morning. This area of low pressure is going to be diving down to the south, bringing a couple of things. Number one, the colder air, and of course those winds I was just telling you about, and maybe, just maybe, some snow and rain for some. All right, let's take a look at that on Futurecast. So I showed you through Saturday morning in Krueger's Quickcast here, and you can see, of course, it's going to be dry. We're expecting that the winds picking up, winds really picking up tonight, tomorrow morning. 6 a.m., clouds, a little bit of trickles of snow here. But at this point, the area of low pressure is down to our south. This is all going to be moving from southeast to northwest. So watch what happens as we go into the morning hours here. This all kind of starts to shift off to the northeast. So look at this. By noon, we are seeing some possible snow flurries, especially in parts of Plumas County. That could include Susanville. But as you notice, you start heading more and more to the north, the chances are slimmer. But check this out. Look at this. As we start getting on the western side of the mountains and into the valley, could we see showers for places like Chico, Oroville, Willows? Basically, Glenn and Butte counties could see some of that, and even parts of southern Tehama County. So it's not out of the question for Red Bluff, maybe Corning, but as you start heading north of Butte County and Glenn County, the chances will be slimmer. All right, so let's take you through the afternoon. See what's happening, see how it's kind of pushing to the northwest. We're still seeing the potential for snow in some of the higher elevations. But Bernie, I think you'll be dry. But you see how Corning, Chico, Oroville, Willows all seeing that chance for showers, but it kind of pretty much fizzles out as you start heading towards Red Bluff and the Redding area. Still some clouds, but I think it should be dry. Then, even 10 o'clock on Saturday, it's still lingering. Keep in mind the area of low pressure to our south. We're in the north flow of that. So the key to the rain and snow forecast for our area is the positioning of that low pressure, right? It only makes sense that if we shift that a little bit more to the south, this is not going to happen for Glenn and Butte counties, and it'll be to our south. However, if it shifts a little bit more to the north, all right, better chances for Red Bluff, maybe even Redding. So again, it's kind of just going into that middle ground here. But I think the best chances are going to be Butte and Glenn counties. And of course, that's snow in Plumas County and into southeastern portions of Lassen County as well. Then, of course, as we take you into your Sunday morning, it's all done with. And we're going to be looking at dry conditions for the day on Sunday. And not to mention, of course, the sunny skies for the second half of the day. All right, so here's the big picture. Let's go into the longer range now. So you saw that colder air is moving down. There's the area of low pressure that's going to give us the gusty winds here for your Saturday. So you've got high pressure to our west, low pressure to our southeast, classic setup for gusty winds. This all shifts to the south and east. We're still seeing those gusty winds for the day on Sunday, but progressively getting weaker. And then that low pressure moves on out of here. High pressure moves back over us. So the winds die down. And as the high pressure moves over us, we see warmer temperatures going into Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday. Now I've got my eyes on this storm system. If you watched yesterday evening's forecast, this particular model was showing this rain sustaining itself and moving over Northern California, giving everyone a chance for rain. This model has backed off on that. It's going to wait until Friday, but the European forecast model is still holding strong with that potential for rain on Thursday, and then of course on Friday as well. So as this pushes eastward, you see how we're seeing those, it kind of breaks apart. It's not until Friday you see it kind of moves on in, and even then it's fairly weak. But bottom line is this. This here is a sign, and we're seeing more consistency in this happening, that sometime around Thursday, Friday, we start to see some showers moving into the forecast. What this is doing is it's showing signs that we're breaking away from this pattern that we've been experiencing, which has been a blocking ridge of high pressure, keeping any storms from moving in. This will open the door for more storm systems over the Pacific to move in. So as we wrap up January, we're going to break away and break apart that blocking pattern, see the chances for showers to wrap up the month, and then going into February, that opens the door for February storms to move in for the first week of February. So this could be the sign of some better chances for some wet weather moving in. Now, what we're seeing here as we look at Climate Prediction Center, I'd be willing to guess that when this is updated later this afternoon, that this green will be a little bit pushed down to the south, because we're going to see better chances for that rain here as we go into the first week of February. Hey, let's take a look at those lake levels. We're still doing okay. Again, keep in mind, yes, we're talking about the rain, especially toward the end of the week, and even tomorrow for some areas. We're still looking good with those lake levels. Still, when that historical average, 121 to even 127%. So still looking pretty good out there, and a little bit of drop, and even some showing signs of increasing as well. Hey, maybe you're heading out to the slopes today or over the weekend. Should be a good weekend for it, although by the time we get into Saturday, Sunday, probably a little gusty, especially out in Mount Shasta Ski Park, and maybe even heavily. Now keep in mind, and this is something you need to keep a close eye on, is those winds. Mount Shasta Ski Park will tend to close down the park because it's dangerous to be on those chairs, right? It can kind of swing around. It's just not good. It's not a safe situation. So we'll have to kind of watch that here over the weekend. So your best bet would be get out there today, and then over the weekend, the chances for those winds, especially Saturday, probably not as bad on Sunday. All right, there's your wave heights for today. Look at that. They are increasing this afternoon, but showing signs of decreasing going into Saturday afternoon. All right, here's a marine forecast for your Friday. There are those winds out of the north at 25 to 30 knots. Strong winds. As a result, there is a gale warning this afternoon and into this evening. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast for your Friday. Temperatures mid to upper 50s, windy over the weekend, dry through Wednesday. Even this weekend, I think it'll be dry for everyone in Trinity County. It'll be dry for everyone through the weekend for the North Coast through Wednesday, with better chances of showers by the end of next week. 58 for Klamath today, 61 for Orleans, 58 degrees in Willow Creek. Now, for Siskiyou County, you could see a passing sprinkle this morning as that boundary pushes through, but otherwise dry and windy through the weekend, dry through Wednesday of next week with that chance for showers, snow down to 3,500 feet. On Thursday of next week, by the way. For Modoc County, you're also dry through the weekend, maybe a passing sprinkle this morning as that boundary pushes through. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for those daytime highs today. And for your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the upper 40s to low to even mid 50s for your daytime highs. Now, we got that chance for some snow flurries down to about 3,500 feet here for, let's put it this way, for Lassen, it's southeastern Lassen, Plumas counties, and even as you start heading into the foothills, places like Paradise may see a shower, most likely not snow. And then, of course, looking at that chance for some snow even out towards the Susanville area as well. Now, we take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. So look at Chico on Saturday. You see that? Yeah, there is that chance for showers on Saturday, windy conditions on Sunday, and then Monday through Wednesday it's dry, weaker winds, and maybe a chance for showers by Thursday. All right, so Red Bluff is that transition point from the potential for showers to the drier conditions. So Red Bluff, if you see a passing sprinkle tomorrow, don't be surprised. Otherwise, you're just windy with mostly sunny skies, and then dry through Wednesday with that chance for showers by the end of next week. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. I'm going to keep you dry on Saturday. I think most of it will be down to the south towards Chico. And by the way, Chico picking up maybe a few hundredths of an inch of rain out of this on Saturday. So that certainly would be a welcome sight too. Windy on Sunday, but the winds will start to subside. It's getting a little bit warmer for the beginning through the middle of next week. And then maybe that chance for showers by the end of next week. That is your morning update. I'll be back again this afternoon with the latest look at the forecast models, and of course, you'll be looking at more at 6 o'clock this evening. Have a great morning.